Yeah, so we're in the middle of Kut Halachos, part 2. Of course, right when it gets interesting, it starts to cut out. That's the way it works. Baruch Hashem. So we're in the middle of the Ma'aseh Dari says that it goes to the Nitzotz. You give, when you don't know the difference between Avraham and Baruch Mordechai, you give Chiyas, you give Koach, you give vitality to the spark of holiness that's animating the Klipa, the husks, the other side. So the way it comes out of Nosson is that this is your problem that you have to change. You have to change your attitude. You have to understand to be positive, and you have to understand that everything's from Hashem, and that you can transform yourself. You can be zocha to change, to leave Mitzrayim. All the beginnings used to be from Pesach, now they're from Purim. That means the pshat is that you can mamish make a new start. It tells you for Gideon, how you look at yourself, how you view, how you think about yourself, and change. We've spoken about this a whole bunch of times that they did a study, and they just try to get people to change their attitude. And when they did that, the people reversed everything. All their problems. They took like I don't know how many people, maybe 13. But I don't remember exactly how many people. 13 older people or something like that for like 5 days in New Hampshire. They went to some monastery. They set it up for 30 years before. And they told all these 70 years old, you're now 30 years younger. You can act like that. No mirrors, everything like the TV movies, the radio was all from older, like from whenever the time was. And they did, they said, if you put yourself in, your mindset in that you're younger, we have reason to believe it's going to really make a difference. And they tested all of their, hearing, sight, all of these things before, give them a whole physical before they started these 5 days. After the 5 days, everyone improved in every aspect. They threw away their walkers. In the beginning, they were like, if you can't take your things up the steps, you have to. 30 years ago, you would be embarrassed. You can take your stuff even one thing at a time. You'll take your stuff. You're going to act like you're 30 years younger. Everything improved. These guys had come in shuffling in, and a guy, a walker, or whatever. When they're waiting for the bus, they played touch football. No. We're completely transformed. And the person in charge, the psychologist in charge, did not use the space that they had set aside for the study in the psychological journal that they wanted to put in, or medical. I don't know exactly which journal it was. Why not? Because they said, if we say this study, no one will believe us. So you're lying. This is impossible. The fact that joy and feeling better about yourself limits damage to physical self, fine. Why is it repairing damage? How could you see better? What do you mean you see better? Why are your sight not doing well? Because your organs, your body is already run down, and you had a river trauma in your head, so you don't see well. How did it reverse? Is it surgery? What did you do? You didn't do anything. No medicine, nothing. You just feel better about yourself for 5 days, and now you're different. Come on. That doesn't make sense. That medically makes no sense. Recently, they published it because other studies are coming to it as well. And they're seeing that your attitude totally changes everything about yourself. It has to do with your attitude, how you look at yourself, how you see yourself. So the person who sees himself in a way that's positive, something completely, he is physically empowering, enabling himself. And a person who sees himself in a way that's negative, he's making it harder for himself. It's totally your choice. It's totally our choice. How we see yourself is like the Chacham of the time, that's mamish the Metzias. The simple thing in the sophisticated or natural story is the fact of life. That is the fact. It's not you're looking bad, you're looking good, you have a negative light, you have a positive light. If you look negative, you're sabotaging, making it harder for you to flourish and to do. When you look positive, you're physically improving your ability. And we know even spiritually improving your ability. You're making things much easier for yourself. And that's what we need to do. Dimyan. It's all about dimyan. Amalek is dimyan. How you imagine, the story you tell yourself, the narrative you build, that you're good and you're trying, you're looking for Hashem, all these good things, that's very important in terms of getting where you need to go. And that's what Dustin really said. He said that in terms of the masses, Hasidus did much better than Musar. So Musar is you're always supposed to make a new calculation of yourself and keep on working. You're very much focusing on the negatives so you can change it. And that's a very big challenge for someone unless you're very unusual. It's very hard to stay focused on, I have to change this and this is not perfect, that's not perfect. But Hasidus was more like you're looking to get something. Emes. I'm going to get this. Looking for this. Not looking, you're bad. Looking to try to get something. You're going to attain something. To get a light. To illuminate. So that's something a person can hold on to for long term. He said that's why it was much more successful with the masses. And it's the same idea. You've got to learn how to, you're important. You're a chilik l'kayuma. You're a neshama tahora. This is your job. This is the purpose of, again, like we were speaking about it weeks ago. Right? Ish was Rav Moshe points out, Ishbis is about connected to Yediyah. When you connect to Yediyah, it's not a stira to the Bechira there. Everything Chazal says seems like he's saying counterintuitive things. It's not a stira, it's not a contradiction. Ishbis is about connecting to Yediyah, knowing everything is from Hashem. So you don't exist, it's just Hashem. And you realize you can still, everything is possible. It doesn't matter what it was till now. Now you just have to focus, now you just have to change it. And everything changes and transforms. So you become a different person. That's the purpose of Ishbis. Not the person can cop out and say, oh, I need to do this. Oh, it's all from Hashem. Oh, here, I'll pick it up. That's not how it works. So this is one of the big avodas of Purim, learning how to focus my imagination and to look at myself and my situation differently, so I'm able to transform myself completely in Pesach.